Hey guys, it's Courtney King here with King Realty and Management. Today I am in my office so we don't have any lights turning off all of a sudden. So real quick, this year I've actually been listing a lot of properties, so representing sellers more than I have buyers this year. And one of the things that kind of surprised me I've had probably like 3 or 4 issues with the title being cleared on the seller's end because of probate issues. So what does that mean? Okay, so the title of this video has to do with estate planning and selling a home. One thing that I realized that most of my clients, myself included, my family members, do is we buy these properties and we're super excited and everything is great, but we really don't have an estate planning strategy. Meaning if something were to ever happen to us or my client who now owns this property, there's no real plan that will help their family members or their business associates or whoever the owner is the property kind of move forward if something were to happen. So I'll give you a couple of like real life examples because I think that's the best way to truly explain it, because it's kind of, I don't know, can be a foreign concept to somebody. So for example, one of my clients, her husband passed away a couple of years ago, and they never probated the will. And they thought that all of the properties that they owned together was actually in a trust. And the reason why people, if you recall one of my previous videos, the reason why people put properties in a trust is to save money and avoid going through the whole probate process, because that process costs money in terms of the court fees, the attorney's fees, and then the time. So she thought that particular property was in her family trust, and it was not. It was under their names individually. So that prevented her alone from selling the property, even though the will had the property going to her, even though her husband passed away. There's a lot of things that the title company has to check to make sure that there are no other possible claims to a particular property that's being sold. So in that case, what she had to do is she had to go to some family members who I'm not going to say they weren't on the best terms, but they just weren't really active in each other's lives. And it was a little bit painful, and to her it was a little bit embarrassing. Let me give you another example. Right now we're under contract on a property here in Irving, and as the listing agent, I'm asking all of the questions just to make sure that we're not going to have any title issues. And it came up that the seller, he was an individual, his wife passed away about a year ago, and they never probated her will. So they checked title and they realized, there's no will probated or no documents saying that he now individually is the only owner of the property. And so what happens? It then delays the closing of the property, because now, and this is actually happening right now, we're waiting for the court hearing for the judge to probate the will. So I'm not going to get all up into the details of wills and probating and all of that, but just know when you own a property, and especially if you own it with a spouse, and something happens, you just need to have these plans in place, whether it be a will or whether it be putting properties in a trust. And now I'm not an attorney, but I did tell you that I'm actually actively working on that for me. Guys, it's actually not that expensive or difficult to put things that you own in a trust. Obviously you want to consult with the experts, but it was actually really easy. For me, it was like maybe a 2-month process. And you just want to get with the experts as well as your CPA to see what is most advantageous. So I'm learning something new every day. Apparently you have to probate a will within a certain time period of the person's death. So in this case of this home that we're currently selling, the wife passed away within the last year. So that's within the time frame. Don't quote me on this one, but I think it's 3 to 4 years in Texas that you have to probate it. Otherwise, I heard that it can be very sticky, and we're not even going to go into that. So lucky for us, we were within that time frame, but unlucky for us, it cost us the deal because the buyer of that property didn't want to wait. So long story short, and the point that I'm getting to, just to highlight what I learned in this situation, is not only asking the right questions, but pulling title before you even list a property. Because some homeowners are out there and they don't realize that there may be liens that they're not aware of that have been placed on their property, or they may not know the rules for probating wills and doing all of that good stuff. So I hope this was helpful. I know there's still kind of a lot of details that I haven't covered because I'm not an expert in this department, but if you don't take anything from this video but just the fact that consider estate planning. This is especially pertinent to our baby boomer clients. My dad, even myself, even though I'm not that old, but just having those plans. And I think everything, especially when you first buy a property, is super exciting. Nobody wants to think about, things possibly happening to you. But I think just words of wisdom and just experience with these clients has taught me, and I want to teach you, to consider the estate planning component anytime you're making moves in real estate or life for that matter. If you have any questions, let me know. If you know somebody that's considering selling their home and maybe they have an ex-spouse, whether through divorce or an ex-spouse that has passed away, they will want to talk to a real estate professional who is going to give them all the tips, myself included, if you want to send them over to me. And we can make sure that we dot our I's, cross our T's before even moving forward with the sale of the property. And this is just going to make the process that much smoother and more enjoyable. So if you guys have any questions, reach out to me, kingrealtytx.com. Comment below, tag your favorite homeowner. If you have any questions about what I'm doing in terms of estate planning, I'm totally happy to share it with you. I'm working with a really awesome company that helps with that. And I will see you next week. As a matter of fact, actually, I'm going to see you live tomorrow because I have a really cool topic that I'm going to highlight that any parent will want to check out tomorrow. So just keep an eye out. If you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube, we're at King Realty TX. Instagram and Twitter, we're at King Realty DFW. And obviously you're tuning here on Facebook. And I hope to continue to bring you a lot of great content to help you in all of your real estate goals. So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the day, and I will see you tomorrow.